I'm like, wait, what am I getting myself into?
No.
Just for an info wars in the backbone.
You didn't know you didn't know it was ready. I got my skull and bones. I got all bases covered, man. But that's the thing with me. They didn't know they fucked up when they gave me diplomatic immunity to be a super disinformation officer that I was going to use it all against him at the end of the day. But yo, law infidels, as we come to life live here at twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman, the ultra kayfabe break weekend edition second episode of HaHaHamin is back, infidels, and I'm real pumped to see this guy back on the scene. Somebody who I raised up on high, who shined down upon me in my early career, infidels, and now he's going to shine upon you here today at HaHaHamin.podbean.com. It's the infamous, the notorious Mike Lehrer. YOLO!
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome.
Well, I mean, Michael or Mikey, my dad's Mike, and I'm not my father.
Sorry, man. I'll stick it with Michael there for sure, dude. I'm so pumped to have you on, man, and to see you, dude. So I'll go back real quick, Mike. Definitely one of my Chicago clique from back in the day, early 2000s when I first showed up there. He had gotten there a little bit before me. So this guy's a 20-year comedy and improv veteran. LA, Chicago, and now he's back in Niagara Falls. And I was just so pumped to see him. He's been through a lot, which we're going to cover here, you guys. And to see him back doing his thing in a whole new way, I've been marking out for it all week long. I'm not going to lie, dude. I've been watching the videos, and I just want to see more and more and more, and it's getting me pumped up, dude.
I appreciate it, brother. And I took 2 years off. We'll get to it, but I have a form of ALS, and I took 2 years off, and I moved to a city where I don't have friends and stuff, so it was tough. But I met a great girl, and then I entered a stand-up contest. I lost, but it got me like the itch. So now I'm like, because I already had a good comedy career,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm proud of, and I really reached my dreams in some way, but in some aspects of it along that ride, it brought out, the worst in me at times. And now that, I'm disabled, so it's 24/7 reflection mode,
Right.
and
Powerful.
yeah, and I'm really attacking this now and being silly and meeting tons of these great comics in Buffalo. You said Niagara Falls, but it's same thing.
Sure.
The meth is probably different
Yeah.
in Buffalo and Niagara Falls, but it'll still kill you.
You're right. Well, that's and I want people to know there is a difference from when this kind of took over, and you said you took 2 years off being stricken with ALS, and that reflection, man, because you are now in a different mode, obviously, and having to see maybe what you shouldn't apply it to karma like anything you did has come back to you, but of who we came up with, of the Daily Show, and with Klepper, and we'll name drop for a minute, all those guys, that are on Silicon Valley that are doing so many great things, crashing.
Dude, it's super fun having a terminal illness and everyone you worked with is rich and famous.
That's what I was gonna say. Let me needle that in there. Like, so while you're doing it, and hey, man, and not that I mean, tomorrow could hit me too with the terminal illness, but dude,
Yeah,
I'm in this.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, you look like shit. I see it coming.
but that's the same boat with wrestling, man. So only so many spots, people you do great business with and business for get a shot. And you were there. You were in LA. And, you know, this is when people like Dan Backadall, who left Second City a little bit before us, and those guys and all these people of our generation who are doing great things, and we're super happy for them. But you were right in there, and you know, now that your speech is a little slurred and you have to slow down, but to look at your old stuff, and I implore everyone to do that, and you can point us in a direction to on YouTube to see the man you were and how this has affected you. Mike was a very slick talking, very heelish type of dude in real life, the kind of guy who is dangerous. If you're going to typecast him, he's the slick asshole in the scene who you want to punch in the face. He's the guy with the girlfriend that the nerd wants to take from him. And he's also very droll and can be very straight man dry and so intelligent, as you guys will see throughout this interview, I'm sure, and already have, that is on a higher level where you're just kind of in awe of him. And now I don't want it to be like, oh, for 20 years he's been working this gimmick that now he's getting the most out of. It's all material for your genius mind. So there is two different whole performance levels of Michael Lehrer, of what's gonna what you might find and look up, and they're both brilliant in their own respects, man. I love it.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, before I forget, I have some old school wrestling stories.
Dude, let's fuck ALS and comedy. Let's get to the wrestling, baby.
Yeah, because I grew up in New York, and I used to go to Madison Square Garden and watch WWF. But then later, I would go to, the gym shows with the retired people. And I was a little kid, and I was going to the bathroom, and the match inside the ring had come out of the ring, and they were running around, and Big John Studd was chasing Kamala, and Kamala was headed directly towards 4-foot me, and I froze like a deer in headlights. I've never been so scared in my life.
Big African titty slapping his belly coming at you at the house show is when you're a young impressionable kid coming out from taking a leak, man. I can only imagine that moment. That's gonna stick with you till the end of time, dude.
I literally never had a platform to tell that story, so here we are, and there you go.
That's awesome, man. I loved both of those guys from that time, and you know, my gimmick's a throwback to that. That moment when I was 7th row in Syracuse, 1985. My dad took me. He's a state champion wrestler. He hated all that bullshit, but Andre the Giant came down in a seersucker lime suit and stood right next to him. And my dad, I'm a big man. My dad dwarfs me even. And to see Andre do that, there was something just in that evolutionary chain, you know what I mean, of what happened there. And I haven't missed a week of wrestling since that night, dude.
Yeah, not to be negative, I love Andre. And I was so pumped for that documentary, but I found myself wanting more.
I agree.
And I know, yeah, cause I'm such a doc fiend, I'm like, and there was definitely interesting stuff in there, but I thought it was gonna be better.
I agree with that, man. You're always in spectacle of them, of the Giant, and they paint the sad clown. You know what I mean? Everything that his disability, I mean, took him to one level, but at the end, it's also going to take you out. And we get the freak show stuff. He had to shit in a bathtub. He farted on a fucking plane or whatever and choked everybody. But like, there could have been a lot more there. But I also think some things they don't want to stooge because that legacy is so preserved that anything you do in excess to humanize them any more than that, I think that's a choice they made. But I totally get what you're saying. I always want more of that stuff for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that was cool. But I mean, there's plenty of docs from years past. The Jake the Snake one,
Mm-hmm.
the Bret Hart one,
Yeah.
where wrestling with shadows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, wrestling with the shadows. I mean,
Yeah, man. I don't even. Yeah, there you go.
so
Exactly.
yeah, we
So,
had them all in the library, dude, for sure. Um,
hey, shout out to my buddy Arlo Smith in Wyoming. Super big wrestling fan. And also um I one of my brightest spots of my day yesterday was when I don't know his wrestling name, but Nick Nemeth
yeah.
followed me on Twitter.
Oh, did he?
And I've been friends with his
With
brother
Ryan.
for years,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a magician bit I used to do that they liked, but I was so pumped to have this um wrestling champion follow me. Oh, before I forget, you mentioned Syracuse, your dad wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
What is it with the water up here? Like John Jones is from Rochester, Rashad Evans is from Niagara Falls. Like these motherfuckers can wrestle,
Yeah, dude.
right?
There is a thing, and now that you're here, even though you're originally from New York City, where it's
Yeah.
Brooklyn, Get Hard, Long Island. Now, as I'm sure you've seen, the lovely nature of people in Central and Western New York who are just so friendly and so nice and are great at customer service.
Are you being sarcastic?
The reason why you and I think clicked back in the day was because we were both New York assholes. And I remember going to Chicago and being like, holy fuck, people are friendly. What do they want from me? Shit is weird here, dude. Like it didn't feel like what I'm used to. So now if you take the speed of New York City out, but keep the toxicity and assholeness and then dump 8 feet of snow on them for 7 months, like now you know who you're fucking dealing with. Angry people filled with testosterone who want to just get it out through the Bills or the Sabres or wrestling. And when ECW was going on, that Buffalo area, because I went to school in Fredonia there, and that's where Heather Kinney, Pete Shukoff from Nice Peter with Epic Rap Battles of History with Lloyd, Law Torello, Kevin Soretta, Peter Byrne, dude, and Marissa Panessa from Panessa Talent. We all came from Random Acts there, dude, out of one show. Yeah, I had Law on for episode 1. It's unbelievable. There's DJs, people on Broadway, all from like that 10 years of that cast, dude. It's fucking crazy. So
yeah, me and Kevin are both from Queens.
Yes.
And we bring that, like, it was like what you were saying, like, I realized I was different from my Midwest brothers,
Yeah.
Even crazier, I moved from Flushing, Queens to go to high school in Wyoming before the internet. I was a fucking freak show. Like, they didn't know what to do with me. The only name they called me was the F word with 3 letters. And like then I got into theater and performing, and I made a baby there, and he turns 21 in November, and he's amazing. His mother's amazing.
See, breaking news. I didn't even know he had a kid. Right here, you guys. Maury Povich shit. Yeah. Michael is the father.
Yeah. No doubt, man. My son's a stud, and I think I've done some stand up with him, and improv, and he's young, but he has a natural aptitude, like, and comfortability and lack of anxiousness that I had,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm so excited for him to jump in. And I moved to Chicago at 19, and I was like, oh my God, what are they doing here?
Yeah.
I remember going to Improv Olympic and getting on web TV when I went home and typing the longest email to all my Wyoming friends about what I couldn't believe I just saw at Improv Olympic, you know?
It was life changing, dude. Because Marissa had gone out there for the summer intensive and came back to Fredonia, and she was trying to. We were just doing all short form and some sketch and variety show shit, but we were drawing 500 people on a Saturday night, dude. It was crazy.
Amazing,
Uh,
amazing.
and she was trying to explain the dream and the herald, and without seeing it, you're not going to be able to put it all together. And
Yeah,
then when I saw it, it was just like it really was that Del Close voodoo, holy shit, I'm in a cult now experience of my life has changed. I can never not live a yes and mindset ever again in my life. Everything I approach is that.
yeah, it was like stumbling onto something that I didn't know I was looking for,
Mm.
that was a perfect fit for me. And yeah, and the only reason I ended up in Chicago was cuz my brother was a dancer, and he was a dancer in Chicago, and he's like, "Why don't you move here?" Cuz I moved to Chicago to be a cop. I majored in
Really?
criminal justice, yeah, for a semester. Then I saw all the goofy comedy shit people were doing. I'm like, fuck this.
I
And
just can't picture that, man. I cannot picture the cop thing in my mind, dude.
oh, dude, I mean, like, to think of me, like, even without my ALS,
Yeah.
I'd be shaking with that gun. Like, so
Yeah.
scared.
that that time was
Yeah.
so it was on the end of the sexual music renaissance alternative hip hop revolution that we were so fortunate to come up under, and the Saturday Night Live greatest cast, Farley, Sandler, da da da. You can go down the list, Hartman. That we were going to be the next ones, and I was lucky because Second City Tour Co had come through, and on Tour Co at that time was Al Samuels, Stephanie Weir, and Bob Dassey. They had done a couple things, and they did a main stage, but then we got to do an intensive with them afterwards. And that day I was just on. Some days you're on, and I was hitting it without trying to make jokes and judge. And
Oh,
Al and Stephanie Bob came over to me afterwards and like, dude, you need to go to Chicago. And I was just like, I gotta go after that. You know what I mean? So
well, you're just naming wonderful people.
yeah, I didn't even
Al
know how brilliant they were at that
Samuels.
time. Like, no
Yeah,
clue.
yeah. I mean, that's what, like, the business, like, it obviously gets a little funky when there's blood in the water, and
Mm-hmm.
you're like, it's like you want to be family, but you want to get the job too, and
Welcome to pro
that
wrestling. Welcome to pro wrestling, brother.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
um but in LA, I hung with Al Samuels a few times, and just an angel of a human being,
Mm-hmm.
man. I love that dude.
Yeah, just really always just telling you yes to go for it and point you in the right direction. And us being again New York dicks, it's tough to take somebody who's just a bright energy like that, who wants the best for everybody and is selfless. I love that stuff, man. And that's what I'm hoping to spread more with this podcast. And it's not the name drop of like that, but I want people, I want Al Samuels, I want Stephanie Weir and Bob Dassey. They should know her from more than Mad TV. And what was interesting, what you were saying there of the blood in the water and who's getting jobs. Now I want to talk about crashing a little bit. I think Pete's done an awesome job of incorporating and giving people spots who no one knows who they are yet, really, but they could be the next big name, because everybody we came up with in Chicago at that time, and even now, I think, could be a star. That's just what you train. If you get to the main stages there, you're fucking ready. You're over prepared. Now,
Yeah.
the other part of that, and I'm glad for Silicon Valley, and I'm glad for Veep and getting to see our mentors shine. I got a big, and I cut this out with Law, and I'll probably have this out with a woman I love, Rachel Mason, about Chicago. Chicago has got its head up its ass when it comes to selling for Saturday Night Live. They're all worried about Lorne Michaels being there and who he's going to see and who he's going to take. Saturday Night Live is an established thing. That's one show to like get on. You've got an entire talent pool who's ready to pack up and move to LA to fight who knows who's out there for how many shitty little spots, or go to New York and maybe you get the show, or maybe you got to grind again, when you've got everything right there. But none of them, I don't want to call it laziness, and I did on the last show, none of them have the balls to step up and pull the trigger on a Chicago show. They should be producing Adult Swim stuff like Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell and all those types of shows. Every week there should be a variety show of teams where, sure, they did something on stage. Let's pluck that out and produce that one scene to a 3-minute sketch. And you have IO Weekly. Why is there not podcasting every morning at Second City, like Hot 97 in the Charlemagne show with Joel Murray walking in, George Wendt, Dave Pasquazi? Like, this is a fucking draw. It's all right there for you, and it helps people who are celebrity put the shine on, people who have a project get the word out, and you're not just worrying about going to buy some call board to see some fucking poster with a funny ass name of a team. Oh, I might go see that show. Here you can fucking really do it and build your celebrity and build your brand on your own. They're not doing it, and that is unbelievable to me in 2019, Michael.
I hear you. You know, shades of gray. I think it's more fluid and changing than that. I haven't been in Chicago in like 5 years at this point, but I hear you. You know,
Sorry, I just got to interject quick. The fact that Second City burned and they built a whole new facility that's beautiful, that IO moved out of the dungeon where we were, the original Wrigleyville, and now it's beautiful, and that you and I can't go online on Twitch on a Friday or Saturday night or tune in the morning and not having to listen to shit corporate radio. Like, those are such huge missed opportunities. I can't see why no teams or any producers are stepping up to fill that void every single day, man.
yeah, but you do see people finding their own lanes, like
That's true.
Hello from the Magic Tavern, that podcast. I probably said the name wrong, but Arnie Kneecap, Matt Young, shit, I forget the other folks in it, but they found their lane. I started listening to TJ and Rush's Here's the Situation. You wanna meet you wanna hear the best improviser who's also a Princeton grad lawyer is Rush fucking Howell.
Way too fucking smart. I was so intimidated by him. Sometimes I would find my asshole New York in me and be like forcing myself to not like his comedy because I knew I could never get to that level. I just, you can't. He's too brilliant, dude.
Yeah, man. He's so great, man. Good. But yeah, people finding their lanes, and obviously, media is changing with like compound speed or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
term is. I mean, who knows? But people are finding alternative lanes for sure. Um, my 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 buddy John Reynolds, um, he like I remember talking to him back in the day, and like a lot of that clique that, for lack of a better word, Anthony Oberbeck,
Mm-hmm.
Carmen Christopher, John Reynolds, Connor O'Malley, like they just went to New York and they do exactly what you're talking about. I see posters for their shows and I'm like, I want to go to Brooklyn and see this shit.
Yeah.
Um, got so
I was kind of like that same mindset a couple weeks ago. I mean, just with us, the addiction of that performance of improv. Wrestling's a different monster, but still the same big shot of adrenaline. And when I saw TJ and Dave had a run there and that they had a Monday show, because I was booked all weekend, so I miss out on a lot of concerts I want to go to and shit because of that, because we're performing too. So I was like, fuck it, we're going to the wife number 124, and I took her down there, and I was just so pumped to get my batteries recharged to see again. I was there for the first 120 TJ and Dave's for $5 a piece that people didn't even know about. Like I feel like I owe them money. I stole from them the lessons I stole from them. And what was crazy to me, and this will be another big name drop gimmick, but earlier that afternoon, we're staying right in Hell's Kitchen, and I walk by Frankie and Johnny, and I see that Michael Shannon's in it, and I'm a huge mark for him, dude. Just a masterclass performance in almost everything he does. And I said to my wife, I go, man, it'd be awesome if he was just walking here. I'd like to tell him how much I appreciate his work. Doesn't happen. So we go down to Soho 6 hours later to go into this little hole in the wall theater, maybe 160 seats possibly. And we're about row 11, and Michael Shannon walks in and sits in our row 4 seats from the wife. Tracy Letts walks in, sits 2 seats in front of him. And I've seen Tracy in Chicago plenty perform with Dave when he sub in for TJ or vice versa. But like, just to see, like, those are one of those moments, like, you're in the right place with the greatest performers on the planet today. You're about to see something organic that everyone can appreciate and is going to level the room, and afterwards I always pop now because I see TJ on the Sonic commercials, so he's on wrestling more than most of the wrestling people I see on the commercials. And then Dave's a huge mark for everything I do with the HaHaHamin stuff. So have those guys to come up under them and them appreciate me like that, it's just almost too humbling and too much for me to even realize. But I don't know if you've seen me do the $5 face slap thing where I slap fans across the face for $5.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to get Dave to talk Michael Shannon into taking one, but he pussied out and he wouldn't do a $5 face slap.
Funny, I got 2 Michael Shannon stories.
Hit me, brother.
Yeah, one has to do with my son, because Michael Shannon is a part of me, I think helped founded Red Orchid Theater on Well Street down from Second City.
Mm-hmm.
30 seat small ass theater, right? He was doing a Sam Shepard play there. My son lives in Wyoming. He knows Michael Shannon from Superman. I take him to that play. Wonderful experience.
Yeah.
Now, here's the old school gossip, I don't give a fuck story, but this is pretty darn confirmed, and it's I won't name the other party, but at Old Town Ale House in Chicago, way back in the day, this might be 25 years, let's say 20 years ago, Michael Shannon got in a fight with an improviser and bit off part of his face.
Really? I wouldn't put it past him, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that'd be over. I'll ask Pasquazi about it. I'll try and get the confirmation too. Not that I don't trust yours.
Yeah. But I was just watching one of my favorite movies from when I was from 19 years old. It was 1999. It's called Jesus Son, and it's Billy Crudup, and it's very indie. But Michael Shannon's in it in 1999.
Really?
I'm like, I remember seeing him in 8 Mile, and obviously he's been in 8 Mile fucking Kim Basinger, I believe.
Yeah.
He was a stepdad.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think I'm right.
Yeah, it was him, and then obviously Boardwalk Empire. Yeah, it's him. I'm a huge mark for him.
Dude, I've watched Boardwalk 5 times.
Yeah.
I mean, my life at this point is streaming media. I mean, all I do is watch it, you know. Now I'm writing, but there's just so much good TV now. Oh my God. It's cathartic, it's therapeutic. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, it sets a standard for us. I think that's the biggest thing of like, all right, here's the baseline, and then somebody raises it. And you see that with stand-up specials too. You couldn't step up with a whack Netflix stand-up special, your ass will get chewed up and spit out, bro.
Yeah, here I'm sure you can tell I'm a big MMA fan, and I when at Helium Comedy Club here, Brendan Schaub came and performed. I went and watched him. Nicest guy in the world. Met him afterwards. You gotta pay like 50 after bucks.
Oh, sure.
It's not on him, you know. It's just like meet and greet. You know, you buy the VIP ticket. Thank you, GoFundMe. I'm kidding. My brother bought it. But
well, you should just do Make-A-Wishes now and fucking make the rounds.
Oh, buddy, I have a couple of those to tell you too. But we went and saw Brendan Schaub. Loved it. Hilarious, nice guy. But he's getting ripped pretty hard for his Showtime special right now.
Yeah.
You know, he's been doing stand-up 4 years, and
yeah, but the jealousy is that he's because he's Rogan's boy. It's because that he's with that clique, and that's cool that he wants to cross over. But you can't jump the line like that based off celebrity, and especially if that'd be like sending a fourth grader into the octagon to fight him. You're trying to step up to that level. It's tough, man.
But there is one thing to point out that Rogan does is that what most comedians do not, which is Schaub approach stand-up like professional athletes approach training. So like there's a discipline that got him where he was, because I don't want to take away from that, but there's no doubt that dude is grinding his ass off.
Sure, man. He's putting in the hours on the mic, doing what I want Chicago to do. And I'm not trying to disrespect him either, because it'd be a good fight, me versus Schaub. I think he's fucking worn down enough.
He's funny. He always paints himself as like he'll joke like he didn't want to get his ass kicked. I mean, if within the last 10 years, if you were in the heavyweight division of the UFC, I bet you're still top 10% toughest people on earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say so. But here's the thing: they act like they can work out all the time and they're badass. I've never seen one mixed martial artist or one weightlifter or one wrestler who's ever been on the eyeball machine, because there's nothing like the eye poke to fucking be the great equalizer. Roddy Piper. There's no machine that's gonna fix that.
What are you talking about? John Jones made a career out of eye poke.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Oh, he put it, or Travis Brown got an eye poke with like knuckle deep.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kidding, but I mean that happened.
Fuck,
It's
bro,
not
I'll give you the
right.
fucking Kill Bill Pai Mei if I got to win. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
But they're redesigning the UFC gloves to prevent eye pokes.
That's just whatever, man. Like I think we're gonna go more bare knuckle. I think that's gonna start taking over. I'm anxious to see more.
Well, Rogan was talking about that, and he used to joke. He said it should be no gloves and like no cage. But then after seeing the bare knuckles, the superficial injuries are so jarring.
Yeah.
He's like, let's keep the gloves.
Well, there's a dude now who's actually Law Torello's cousin in New York City. You might have seen it. Viceland did a piece on him, Casanova Valentine. He's doing deathmatch wrestling, like would have been Funk in Japan and shit and Foley, but he's doing it in bar shows. And what he calls it is a live performance art exhibit. So he skirts all of the fucking New York State Athletic Commission shit, like a lot of the sports insurance stuff that he has to. It's just on the bar insurance. But he's in there with barbed wire and a goddamn garden weasel in a bar, laying it into people, no ring, no nothing, just going around. So again, it's Baskin Robbins 31 flavors ice cream where everyone can find their niche, man.
Find your lane.
Yep.
Hey, let me I want to tell you a funny Make-A-Wish story.
I want to hear it.
Cuz I've been just like, I really got into the stand-up Jim Florentine. He a big Crank Call guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a part of Crank Gangers. He's like, yeah, he's great. He's a ranter, but I will listen to his Crank Calls on YouTube recently, and it would brighten my day. And I'm like, fucking, I email him, and I'm like, hey, they don't have Make-A-Wish for adults, but I'll use my GoFundMe to fly you to Buffalo and we'll have dinner and just make me laugh. And he emailed immediately back, he goes, don't even worry about paying for it, I'll come. And wow, great.
Yeah.
Now he's ghosted me for like 9 months. I'm mad at one. Crank Gangers got picked up in the meantime.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a kind of dark comedy.
Oh, dude.
It's almost worth it.
It's so worth the story, bro. Like you try to set it up with the one, and then it even goes way worse than that, man.
But he emailed me like within 5 minutes.
Oh shit! He probably was hoping that you'd kick the bucket between now and then before he had to do it, bro.
Yeah, here the food in Buffalo ain't so good.
That's fucking great, dude. And that's the Michael Lehrer comedy. Like, guys, I can't show you a more true fucking shot than that right there into the dark heart of this crazy motherfucker, dude.
Oh man. Hey, speaking of rap,
yeah.
In Buffalo, this happened a couple years ago, but the only Buffalo rap act to ever be signed to a national label, Eminem's label, is from here and they're dope as fuck. It's West Side Gun, Benny the Butcher,
I
and
don't ban butcher.
Conway. And that's my new Make-A-Wish, that I want them to come over and hang with
Dude,
me.
wow, you should be on stage in a set, gangstered up like you used to be, all your G shit, all that stuff, man.
Nah, man, I'm all about now, like getting to the dirty truth. You know, I mean, I I've always been a wannabe black guy. I've always loved rap. Um, and and I'm gonna keep doing open mics because it's really changing my life. Helping me get through this in Buffalo. But I'm gonna start asking people at open mics if they know these rappers, and see if I can make it happen.
Dude,
But
I'll help Twitter stalk you. Our whole fucking fam out here. We're happy to go to bat for you, my homie and army. That's how we get shit done.
But if you haven't heard those guys, listen to them. And you know at the BET Awards they do those dope ciphers.
Yeah.
Cipher. Yeah, there's a cipher with all three of them, and I watch it like 100 times.
Awesome. Send that to me in Messenger, will you?
I will.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm lucky here right now because here's one thing about New York that I wanted to put over too with Central New York and why those guys might be so dope. Because we got New York City, but upstate and Western New York is 8 years behind everything there. So what with mumble rap and the bullshit that's going on, we're still getting the boom bap up here, but it's the independent artists who are making unbelievable shit. So even where I am right here, I've got he was one of my students. His name's Frio, and then a dude who did another one of my themes in my weed dealer is Rated R. And you know, and there's in Ty the Tyrant. They own their own studio here. I'll send you all three of those, dude. You're gonna be blown away by the level of underground independent hip hop that people don't know about, and I'm super pumped to see that. And Rated R, he does a ton of those ciphers and shit too. But I was lucky to be in 3 or 4 Frio rap videos, so I got to live out my white guy wanting to be black fantasies as well. And I'm in and out of character doing some stuff. And I actually been thinking about doing a little 3-song mixtape, a little something to release in character as HaHaHamin, man.
Hey, I want to preface the wannabe black guy part with after I saw the movie Get Out, I realized one, oh shit, it's kind of not so cool, and 2, they're making fun of me, and 3, maybe I deserve it.
No, nobody wants you to be a black guy more than your girlfriend. That's the big thing.
Speaking of which, baby, will you check my phone and see if Jaguar texted? Oh shit, that's probably him. Did you hear that?
Yeah, dude, we right on the spot right there. The timing's right on as always, man.
My God, that was crazy. But yeah, I mean,
do you find that, I mean, we used to get stoned or whatever just for the fuck of it. That's what we do as comedians. Do you find with the ALS that there is a far greater benefit with using marijuana? Because right now, across the bridge in Canada, completely legal, on Vermont, Massachusetts, and now in Chicago, going full. It's just a matter of months before New York figures out the payoffs. But is it helping you with your condition?
No, absolutely not. And but it helps me not think that about how I'm dying every day all day.
Okay.
I mean,
well, I would call that help, maybe not relief of symptoms,
but yeah, it don't do shit for the disease. They don't have shit for the disease. Like, I mean, they have a couple drugs. One of them is nicknamed the 3-month drug. I asked my doctor, why is it called that? He said, because on average, it gives you 3 more months to live. And I'm like, 3 months from when, motherfucker? What if I didn't make this appointment today?
Right.
Write that script in for 2035.
Good bits.
Yeah, man. So, here's the thing. A couple things. Pretty much since I left Chicago, um, like they have a dope mayor now. There's a lot of cool shit happening. Legal weed. Here I have a medical card. Fucking 4 times the price of the black market.
And it's not like it's way better weed because there's great weed everywhere now. You can't get shit
It's
weed.
way worse. It's half the strength, and they don't do flower, only vape. And I mean, it's the new gold rush,
Yeah.
medical marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, look, if you're older and weren't a stoner and you go and get it, it will help you. If you were like me and smoked 24/7 for 10 years, like those little expensive vapes aren't gonna do shit,
No.
and I'm gonna burn through them. But it's all good.
And believe me, he's put in the process. He's got notes. He's got charts and graphs. This is not fucking getting the job done. So we've done the research.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
I got to ask the serious question, though. Now that you look back on it, do you regret dumping that bucket of ice on top of your head that started all of this, Mike?
Actually, I regret never doing the challenge and never paying attention to it. In fact, I didn't have any symptoms
Not
when
at that
that
time.
happened. I didn't even know it was for ALS. I asked my doctor about that, and he said, I guarantee they already spent all the money because research is so expensive.
Wasn't there like a 1-day news cycle where they're like, because of the ice bucket challenge, we've broken through with new genetic technology to be able to, I don't know if it was stem cell or what. I mean, I'm not going to try and sound like I know anything about the ins and outs of the disease, but that was just like a quick 24, and then it was gone.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Unfortunately, with people with diseases like mine, there are people out there that want to take advantage, and stem cell is one of the areas where, like, oh, we can fly you, well, you can come to China and we can do this, but, stem cells in regards to ALS, very, very, like, not even close. But, like, to help your punching arm,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
your back's ruined, hell yeah,
Right.
But stem cell won't do shit for me. They have a drug where you can get a port installed, and they give you like this liquid vitamin mix or something, and it shows some improvement. But my doctor said he has some patients on it, some not, and he can't tell the difference.
Really?
So,
Well,
Yeah.
At least he's not trying to bullshit you and give you something that's going to be placebo hope spot where he's just taking money from a
Oh,
fucking pharmacology, big lobbyist or whatever.
oh, dude, I mean, the worst part about being sick is everyone thinks they're a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
I feel bad for doctors. You drop $500,000 on education, and then every grandma with Google thinks they know more than you.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, whatever.
I think you need to go
Um,
back to some old timey remedies. I'd like to see you go back some early 1900s and start making up your own potions. I think that's the way to go.
Dude, IPAs are the best medicine,
Nice.
but they have the worst side effects. That's a true story.
I seen you piss your. I think I seen you piss your pants
Yeah,
before.
this one, I'm sorry.
I said I think I seen you piss your pants long before ALS on IPAs, buddy. I don't.
And I love it. The heroin of beers.
Yeah, it's so good actually. I had what were we drinking? The Sierra Nevada's got a new one, hazy summer or something that's like real citron hops IPA, but it almost tastes like a lemon shandy, but there's no lemon in it. It was good playing golf the other day on it.
Yeah, Hazy Summer
Yeah.
is the name of my new next Netflix special.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for, man. And I'm glad you're playing these open mics. But I'm going to shoot with you too, Michael. Is that your talent's too big for that? And I understand you're doing it as part of your therapy and getting back out there and feeding the addiction and giving back to people because your talent's too big to fucking stay locked up. That's just not fair. And that's a big reason why I wanted you on today, to make people aware. You have put your grind in. You've got the credentials. I want, regardless of how much you can do with your condition, you should be having a top spot in the community there and become a quick and rising name. And I think, and I'm not trying to hold anybody who we got a lot of love for, there's an opportunity here to work your gimmick. If everybody else is doing, let's fight for that comedy spot, maybe not Klepper's show of what he's doing now, but where can you do your man on the street correspondent stuff that you did in LA under this new style? And somebody who we came up with who gets that shot should have you in their back pocket as a trump card of like, hey, this is going to be something fucking different, even if it's for 2-3 minutes. Obviously an extended time might not be what we want in the structure of the show, but he could be a recurring character. And dude, I know that everything you got going on is hard, and this is still the pipe dream. But now more than ever, I want you to know that I think this is more of an opportunity to maybe brand yourself in that and be known for that and awareness of that, And I just did a show with Ryan Niemiller. I don't know if you saw him on America's Got Talent. He went viral. He's kind of got the deformity of his hands, stand up. So, I mean, it's America's Got Talent. He gets 90 seconds to do his most get over shit. But he pulled 40 minutes and destroyed. I would love to see something where all you guys can get together, and not just to be a handicap show or disabled show, but a showcase of people who have paid their dues and have their grind and don't need to flex whatever their disability is. It's already there. Give them the fucking material and make a true statement of all inclusion, dude. And I think I just want to see something build towards that. I want to drop the pebble in the pond for that. And I'd love to see that happen for you.
Well, I appreciate all that. Now, a few things. What I'm doing now is for my soul. I don't want spots. I don't want gigs because I'm not capable. I only have a certain amount of energy. And what is really helping me the most is getting to know all these great Buffalo comics
Good.
and meeting new friends, and it's really enriching my soul. And I get what you're saying, but I mean,
That's just not where you're at. I totally get it. My director view for you versus what you need as a performer right now are two different things.
and you're not the only one to say that or something like that. Like I've had a couple people mention like, "Oh, make a documentary or something," and it's just not possible. And all I'm doing now is really nurturing my soul and enjoying my time with my girlfriend who I live with, who takes me to all these open mics, and it's a nightmare because handicap accessible is a loose word apparently.
Super fun in Buffalo in February to open mic too, and not
Oh
hand.
my god! Like I once in a while I think about that. I'm like, dude, stay in the day, stay in the season,
Yeah.
because I mean that we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I'm hoping for what do you call it? A long summer and a long fall.
Yeah. And with global change, the winter wasn't super bad, but you always get your dick kicked in New York and Chicago. So we're used to it. And I'm sure Wyoming was, super easy.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, they call it Indian summer, but is that allowed to say anymore?
I don't know. Is it a native summer?
Good question.
Yeah, absolutely. I will write that one down. You can have for the bit. Yeah, man. I just wanted to give you time to maybe say anything that you want to everyone we came up with, because that's really what it is for me, and including you here, just to let you know that you definitely hold a special place in my story. And when I look back, and it's hard for me to think of shows and sets we did because we're taught to let that magic go, and it's gone out into the ethosphere forever, and then we'll do it again. But there's glimpses of smiles and moments and times when we were coming up, and your face is always in that picture of when I picture IO, man. So I just wanted to let you have a moment. If there's anybody out there that you want to put over and that's special for you that way, bro.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, countless people that I worked with, when they found out I was sick, um, uh, reached out and helped me, because I'm real proudful, and I found myself in a situation where one day I'm bartending and the next day I'm never gonna work again. And my brother took me in, and you're counting change to get a candy bar and your life sucks. But when things started trickle to my 17 years of Chicago, Second City Alumni Fund, Heather Winna, Jordan Kleber, Chris Wataski, Devin Sanchez, a high school friend from Wyoming, started the GoFundMe. I mean, I I mean, forget comedy. Like, I mean, we've been surrounded by studs, men and women who inspire us. Um, I was just floored by how much love poured out from all those people. And they literally changed my life, because I mean, it took 3 years from my disability to be paid, like to be declared disabled. Um, so I mean, all those friends and many, many more helped me get to where now I'm not worried about money. I'm good. Rob Belushi, Tim Stolberg, Candy Lawrence, so many people like they reached out to me. Cheryl Lasky, I don't want to forget people,
Yeah.
but they reached out to me even after the GoFundMe, and they're like, can we raise money for you? And I'm like, I'm good on money. Throw me a party in LA. And they did that, and we're doing it next week. And there's gonna be like 50 to 100 people there.
Wow.
And my son's gonna be
Wow.
there. And I'm writing him a speech. And he already is a stud. And I'm gonna make him like I mean, my my speech starts with, or his, it starts with a list of people that I plan on suing for making me sick. So it's gonna be a blast.
Please get it on video. I can't wait to see it, man. And that really makes me happy that they're doing that, dude. And
Yeah.
not that it's about me or my closure, but just talking to you today, dude, to see where you're at and to see where your mind's at, I feel really at peace with, because not like, what am I walking into? I knew I after watching your stuff, it's the same great mind. There's no difference. It's just a little bit slower dialected and some slurs, which I'm always a sucker for a good character accent. So that's how it is.
You know what's funny? Yeah, the disease, it affects everything else, but I'm actually mentally stronger and healthier than I've ever been.
Great.
All my life, I suffered from whatever alphabet soup spectrum of ADD, OCD, depression, but mentally now I'm stronger. But I was at a stand-up show the other day, and the comic, he like, my laugh has always been one you can pick out, and now forget about it. And I'm in my wheelchair. He goes, maybe he didn't see it, but he goes, you laugh like the handicapped kids I used to work with. And I go, I am handicapped, asshole. And he's like, well, you're drinking, so you can get it. And I'm like, how funny is that? Oh, disabled people have it so good. I mean, God forbid they have a beer.
I would love to see everything that you got going on, man, at that party. More gigs. I'm not sure if you're gigging this weekend. I was going to invite you to, I'm in St. Catharines, right across the border, on the 21st, but it seems like you're in LA for a big party in your honor, so you're probably going to miss that independent wrestling show. But
what's the day?
The 21st on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right. I'll be back a month or two after that, man. So I'm back usually every 6 weeks there.
All right, let me know. My girlfriend is addicted to gambling, so we go to Canada a lot.
It's only 16 kilometers past past that, so easy.
Yeah, we're right there, so I definitely know it, and that'd be a blast, and that will definitely happen.
Awesome. Heather Kinney's there with my one of my best friends, Tony Kurtzel. So we'll have a little reunion, maybe get some dinner and have a good time, man. And then during the show, I'll berate you in front of the crowd and make fun of the guy in the wheelchair, which always gets me more heat. So it'll be a good time.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Heather Kinney lives in St.
No,
Catharines?
she lives in Buffalo.
Oh,
She
that's fine.
she married my best friend from college, who Tony and Kevin and Hooch and I were all came out there, and Pete. And then after she did her time there, and Tony came out and moved there, they got married and went back to Buffalo. So they've been there for a while, having a good life, man. But I'd love to have us all together.
That's very cool, man. Thank you.
Anything else where we can direct people to see your old stuff, your new stuff, social media wise, where you want to interact with people and just have some genuine interactions that you want to put out there, man?
Um, well, orally, I'm not sure to say, but at Twitter, at Steve Martian 69.
Nice.
Steve Martian 69. And I've been starting beef with other disabled comics.
I like it.
It's been fun. Shout out to Crip Daddy. He check out his shit. You know, like I'm obviously with my new content. Um, I don't want to say like some cliche term like pushing the limits, but what I'm doing is crafting like levity for myself, you know. And I have nothing to lose because, I mean, you know, like I ain't ever gonna have a fucking job again. So fuck you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for driving that one in too, asshole. Appreciate that. Fuck. But dude, I just want to say thank you, and it's really brightened my entire day, week, and hopefully, I'm sure longer than that, just to see you and talk to you. Know that you're doing well in the face of this, and to see where your mind's at, you know, and to not have to see you with a wife beater on with your muscles slinging beers behind a bar where I'm jealous. You know, I feel like I got a one up on you now. It's no problem. But I appreciate you. And I love you, and I can't wait for all of our friends and connections to hear this, because I know everybody's always interested in how you're doing, man, because we all hold you in such high esteem.
I really appreciate it, and this has been wonderful, and I'm glad we were able to do it. So thank you.
Yeah, well, no problem, buddy. And you guys, when he's got a gig, I don't care what he says. I'm going to plug and promote him. I'm going to keep putting his stuff out there. And if you're in Buffalo and you want to track him down, this is a great guy to have an IPA and piss your pants with at 2 a.m. Believe me, there's nobody
and
better.
Don't sleep on Buffalo comedy.
No.
There's some hitters out here, man, and I'm fucking loving it.
Awesome.
And I'm meeting great people, and I mean, like Helium Comedy Club in Buffalo, they get national acts and they got great local comics. You know, I'm in a good place and I'm pumped, and I look forward to seeing where this leads.
I am too, man. I think you just taking it easy right now is the calm before the storm, my friend. I think something's coming, whether you want to fucking accept it or not. You're going to be a part of it, and I can't wait to see it, dude. All my love and all the love from all of our listeners as well. They're loving HaHaHamin, and this is a great second episode. Nobody else I could have asked for more, and I can't wait to hear more about the Michael Shannon face biting story as we follow up on that one, you guys. So.
Oh yeah, man, that's a deep cut.
Be a good time. So I'm going to sign off with twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman infidels. I'm going to stand with Mike here, Michael, real quick, and follow up off camera. But you can catch this exclusively at hackerhamin.podbean.com, infidels. YOLO!